Hey guys. Hi. Sorry, I was looking down because I got to make sure I'm on. Am I on? Oh my God. Hi. I know. I look like I've been in the sun, right? I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. So we are still getting the remnants of a hurricane. I think everybody's heard about. So it's really dark in here today. And I have more lights on me than normal. So maybe that's why I look like I'm tan. Can you get tan from lights? Probably not. No. Hi, guys. Welcome to October. I am shuffling our angel cards right now, letting people get a little bit of time to come on in. If you guys are here, please say hi. I see there are some bodies on. Please say hi so I can say hello to you. And as I'm shuffling our angel cards today, I just want to say thank you so much for last month. You know, when I came on out of the shower with no makeup on. And if you can't tell a difference, I'm really sad. Um, but there you are. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who went the extra mile and like reached out to me to make sure I was okay. I thank you for that. Yep. Coaches are human. It's true. It's true. So thank you for that. And if I'm ever able to talk about it, I will. I really did not mean to be secretive. It's just not my story. But it was brutal. So thank you for being there for me. Today we have, ooh, this is interesting. I did not expect this. I never expect what we get, but there you are. Let me see if I can put it up to the camera. Can you guys see that? It says, see only love. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. All right. So look past the seeming errors. Oh, this is good for today for everybody who wants to quit. This is good. So sorry, I'll try that again. I only read for a living. It's fine. Look past the seeming errors, mistakes, and misunderstandings and see only the love within each person, including yourself. Your your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings out healing in undreamed of ways. You guys say hi as you come in so I can say hi to you. That is super cool. So for those of you that missed it, today is See Only Love, which I swear to God, you guys, I pick these after I create the title and the subject for the day. I swear. It's never on purpose. But I think last month's acceptance was pretty dang extraordinary. But see only love in a moment when you want to quit. So let's talk about this because if you are in business, you are going to have a day or 5 every 3 days where you're going to want to quit. Like this is something I think that we as coaches really do a disservice in that we don't talk about it enough. We do not talk about the desire to quit. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear me because you guys aren't commenting. So I get nervous when you don't comment. I'm like, are they out there? Is this real life? Is this thing on? Am I in here? I don't know. You have to comment so I know you're here. Say good morning. It's okay. I won't bite. I only bite on Tuesdays. All right. So, guys, when you want to quit, what's happening is you have a belief that's running the show. I know that sounds crazy, but it really is that simple. You have a belief that's running the show. And there's one I just wanted to share with you that I went through probably about 3 years ago, where I was just starting to break through the barrier where strangers, meaning human beings I wasn't related to, hadn't worked with, didn't go to high school with, or knew me tangentially through other people, or knew me through my local community, but like actually people who did not know who I was were starting to purchase things. And I was like, what's happening? Right. But it didn't happen fast enough. Why? Because I'm comparing myself to so many other people in the industry. Like I'm sure you do in your own business. There's so many people that are doing what you do that you get nervous, right? You start to be like, am I in this really? Does anybody know I'm doing this? And I'll tell you guys, one of my most clicked on emails ever was, I just want people to know I exist. So I know that, and all the people I coach and all the students in my programs, I know that's a normal feeling. I know we all feel that way from time to time. It's like, is this like, I was just joking, is this on? Like, does anybody know what I'm doing? And I really want us all to understand. We're starting to talk about this. The Abundance Academy launched today. I'm so excited about that. So, with the Abundance Academy, we're really talking about this week. We're going to be learning about human needs. And I just want to share one of them with you right now. You've heard me talk about it before. I don't usually word it this way, but it is the need to feel significant. It is the need to feel like you matter. You've heard me say, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do I matter? Right? You've heard me talk about how those are human needs. And if the answer to those questions are no for you today, You're gonna feel awful all day. It's gonna be a really tough day for you. Likewise, anyone that you are working with or anyone you bump into, including the person next to you in the line at the grocery store, the person who's standing next to you when you're pumping your gas, it doesn't matter. Everyone is asking these questions all the time. And what can happen in business is our need, not our want, not our nice to have, not gee, golly, gee whiz, that would be great. Well, all that. No, no, no. You have a need to be significant. We all do. It's like, welcome to humanity. We have this need to be significant. So, what's happening when you're like, I should just quit, is probably that need is not being met. So, I'm going to share with you guys what I did with my coach when that went on. Plant powered cooking. Rama, what is up, girl? I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so happy you're here. Hi, Lily. So happy to see you. So, you guys, so here's what happened for me about 3 years ago when it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not big enough yet. Everyone who's working with me knows me. How do I break through that I'm trustworthy enough that someone who doesn't know me wants to work with me? I'm sure you guys have had this feeling like, how do I get in front of people who do not know who I am, but they still want to work with me? Big question, right? Especially for people in business. Oh my gosh. So I was talking to my coach about it. I was like, I'm super bummed. There aren't enough people who don't know me. Meanwhile, I'll get to that in a second. I love me. I'm like Sarah Walton. It's so funny. We all go through these things, you guys. So I was freaking out because I was like, there's not enough. Only the people that are working with me, they know me or someone's introduced them to me. Like, what the heck? What's wrong? Why can't strangers work with me? It was like a real concern for me because I want to be like the Brenda Bouchards. I want to be like the Marie Forleos. I'm very different from them, but the business model's the same, right? You guys know I teach you that all the time. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Success leaves clues. There are ways for you to build your business. Go look at what's happened. Do that, right? So I'm trucking along, doing my thing. And I'm like, what is going on? And meanwhile, in the launch for my sprints, there was not a single name I recognized on the wait list, not one. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Totally discarded it. Why? Because we're all crazy. That's what we do. Hold on, I'll get to it. When we have a belief, we ignore evidence that contradicts the belief. So I ignored that. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Then I went on to notice who was actually clicking on and reading our emails that I send out. I love sending you guys emails. I know. I get frisky sometimes. I love to write, I love to share. And I was noticing that whenever there was an opportunity to purchase something, they were all people I didn't know. Ignored that. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh. So I'm having the conversation with my coach, and I'm like, "Hi, coach. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at everybody. Fix it." Right? Like, we all do. We all have this, you guys, and please, if I ever tell you I don't have a coach, would you just throw something at your screen or, like, say bad things to me because it would be a lie. I always have a coach. So we sat down and she said to me literally, what are you not doing that you know you need to do? And I could not figure, I'm like, well, we're about to launch the podcast. We haven't launched the podcast yet. I was thinking about a YouTube channel, hadn't launched the YouTube channel yet. And I was like, I think I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I really do. Like I'm going through, I'm like, am I skipping corners? Am I watching Netflix when I'm supposed to be working? Am I not selling? Am I not talking about how I can help people? I was like, nope, doing that, doing that, doing that, doing that, doing that. And you know what we got to? Do you wanna know what my crappy behavior was in this moment? I wasn't noticing what was actually happening. She was trying to get me to understand, like, "Sarah, there's something you're doing, or there's something you're not doing that is having you feel this way." And obviously behind the doing or the not doing is what? A belief, right? So my belief was, I'm not good enough for strangers to work with me. That was my belief 3 years ago. It's not anymore, right? But that was the belief at the time was like, I'm not good enough to work with people who don't know me, who don't have that baseline of trust, that foundation of love and connection and familiarity with me. People who know, no, I'm not a scammer. People who know I work really hard. People who know I show up for my clients and students. They didn't know that yet, right? So they couldn't possibly want to work with me. So we get to the point that, like, no, what I was actually believing was causing me to ignore the evidence that was absolutely contradicting my belief. You guys ever had that experience where you recognize there's a belief that's running the show and you're making the belief right, regardless of what the truth is actually telling you? Okay. Because there's what's actually happening. And then there's our beliefs that have us either ignore or see the truth. And I've used this example before, but I do want you to think about it for anybody who's in like what is I want to say the market. Who's in the market for a new car? You guys know this deal, right? You like are I'm gonna find a new car. I'm gonna find a new car. I'm finding a new car. Right. And all of this, I'm just gonna pick a thing. Let's say you decide you want a white Honda. Totally made that up. Like, let's just say you're like, I want a white Honda. What happens when you go to the grocery store or you're outside or you're on the highway? What happens? What do you see everywhere? White Hondas. This can happen too if you're waiting for someone to pick you up. And let's say they have, a red SUV. How many red SUVs are suddenly out there, right? When you're looking and you're thinking, oh, a red, that's going to stand out because everybody has black, white, or silver, right? All of a sudden, if you're waiting for someone in a red SUV to find it's unbelievable. You're like, holy cow, they're everywhere. What is that? Seriously, what is that? Does like maybe Siri's listening, maybe your phone's listening, and like the dealership suddenly releases a whole bunch of new cars for you to look at? No, it's a cute idea, but no, that's not what's happening. They have bigger fish to fry than what you and I are talking about today. But that's how it feels, right? All of a sudden you're like, where did these all come from? This is so weird. I never noticed these before. I never noticed these before. And that is the key. You never noticed before. I was actually studying all of the strangers that were inquiring about what it takes to work with me. But my belief strangers aren't going to work with me was more important to my little brain. So my little pea brain ignored the evidence that was absolutely contradicting the belief. You guys know this, right? You've been through this, right? Don't lie to yourself. You've been through it if you're alive. This thing is so effing powerful. It's why we coaches spend so much time on mindset. It's why we spend so much time on limiting beliefs. And I know, listen, I can tell when someone's not into mastery, when someone is not into actually conquering their belief systems, their business, hitting their goals, achieving financial freedom, all those things. I can tell someone's not really into it when they say to me, "Oh God, limiting beliefs again?" Because what is that? It's a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief that limiting beliefs will only get you so far. Right. And there it is right there. I'd be like, you haven't hit a goal yet, right? And they're like, how do you know that? You just said I'm not willing to work on what I have to work on to get what I want. So I know you haven't met it. And I don't mean that to be a jerk. It's like literally, it's like you're wearing a big sign on your face that goes, I am not interested in the hard work it takes to go long term. That's literally what that says, because anyone who's truly serious about this, you guys, we have more limiting beliefs than we will get to in a lifetime. You could study them every single day and not get to all of them because the amygdala, I promise I won't get into brain science too much. I did this because I'm like, Sarah Walton, do not get into science, but I have to just for a minute. Okay. Sorry, it's live. I'm going to do what I do. Amygdala, two little like almond shaped things at the base here. And it just runs around screaming danger all the time. And that turns into limiting beliefs. No one who doesn't know me is ever going to want to work with me. That's what that looks like. Yeah. Hi, Leah. Good morning, Clara. Clara, I haven't seen you on a coffee coach for like a bit. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. All right. So, beautiful people, I want you to take a second. If you have had the urge to quit, and it's okay, I will not make you raise your hand, but raise your hand where no one can see you, right? Just do like that. Like, oh no, I've wanted to quit. I've wanted to quit. It's okay to say it. And that's something that I think is a limiting belief, right? It's like we have this massive fear of saying what's actually happening for us, right? Remember last month when I was going through this horrible, horrible spot in my life that I had no control over, there was nothing I could do. What do we always say? You guys, there's a next. And in order to get to the next, you have to tell the truth about now. You cannot skip that step. We all want to, because for some reason in this world, in our society, it's not okay to not be happy 24 freaking 7. Ew. How exhausting is that? Can we talk about that for a second? I don't want to be happy 24/7. I think I dropped dead right here. That's not a rich, full life. I think I talked about this, but I love it. You guys know the beautiful movie Inside Out, right? It's my favorite. Love Inside Out. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And I want you to watch it with this perspective of I want to quit. I'm scared. This is too hard. I can't do it. I want you to watch it with that perspective because what is so gorgeous about that movie is that the main character, actually her emotions inside her head, right? The inside that presents out, right? The ins I'm going to cry. The inside understands finally happiness does not have to be the only emotion available. And that actually life is richer and fuller when happiness is combined with a little bit of sadness. You guys ever feel that? Just think of like, oh, I don't know, Steel Magnolias. Pick a thing. Bridges of Madison County's been on lately, right? Like just think of these. It's a happy sad. E.T., happy sad. Remember the first time my daughter watched E.T., she goes, "Why did you make me watch this?" Right? But it's the happy sad. That's actually what life is. So you wanting to quit after you created a business so you could be free, that's happy sad. And that's okay. You guys, God, I hope social media dies. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. I really do. Like I've had it. I've had it with the constant perfection. And then there's the other thing people do, which is another form of perfection, is they go on and cry and whine about everything. That's not real either. It's a happy sad. It's a combination. It's a disgust and happy. It's a disgust and sad. It's an anger and happy. It's an anger and sad. That's what life is. And so you wanting to quit is real. The emotion is real. And here's what we're going to do to get through it. First of all, you're going to look at the limiting belief that is causing the desire in the moment to quit. Okay, so let's just pick something. Someone was nasty on social media. You went out, you put your product out there, you did something wonderful, and people were like, "You suck. Get a life. You're stupid." People don't usually say that, but let's say they did, right? We're not big celebrities. It doesn't happen that often, but let's just pretend. Okay? And you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, I really do suck. Oh my God, they found out. Oh my God." Meanwhile, like the person who wrote that is, in their parents' basement in their underwear messing around because they're not working, right? Because we know that. And I'm not saying that to be mean or nasty or snarky. We know that because someone further ahead of you on the path doesn't have time to say things like that to you. So we know that, right? Someone who's really succeeding would never say that to somebody else. Someone who's truly succeeding reaches behind them and goes, "Come on, girl, let's go." Right? That's what we do for each other. So we know when someone's trying to pull you back down the other way, it's because they're not doing what they know they could do. Just know that. Okay. But for that belief, I'm sorry, but for that comment to knock you off your game for that day, hour, minute, however long it knocks you off the game, it's because it's hit a limiting belief that still exists for you. So you want to figure out what that belief is. And for a lot of people, this is a big rub. So if this is you, I really want you to just listen for a sec. For some people, that nasty comment hits the limiting belief. If I get big, people will get nasty. Oh, who had that belief? Somebody just went, "Oh, that's me. That's me. Who did that?" Somebody just had that. I swear to God, I felt that. Ilea, you love Inside Out. I've heard only education teachers use it to show children how multifaceted their emotions are. Yeah, grown-ups need it even more, Ilea, because as we grow up, we're not allowed to emote. You noticed? At a funeral, there's no wailing anymore. We don't actually cry. We don't let our emotions out, which is so stinking unhealthy. Could you imagine if you had to go to the bathroom and you hold it in because you're an adult now? Toxic, right? You can't do that, but we try. Awesome. All right. Natalie, what's up, girl? She said she's been here and she had to create a channel to be able to join the chat. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you created a channel. Hi, Natalie. Um, hey, Adrian. So good to see you, woman. So that's number one. Is you have a belief that if you get big, people will get nasty. Now, I've talked about this before. Brendan Burchard actually coined this phrase. It's not mine, but I love it. And he calls it success tax. If you get really big, there's a success tax and it's called critique. And people are going to get nasty. And you know that. So when someone's nasty on social media, you can use that as an excuse to back down for the entire day, week, month, give up, quit. You can. You absolutely can. But do you really want to? Like, really? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to let someone who's behind you on the path yank you back down and pull you into the mud and you go, "Oh, you're right. This is where I belong. You're right. My bad." Is that what you're going to do? Because that's the equivalent, right? You let someone else's bad behavior dictate your level of success. Are you effing kidding me right now? Oh, I don't think so. Schmelly. Hey, girl. The success tax. You're telling your accountant? Good, Michelle, let me know how that goes. Yeah. Okay, so that is one reason you can wanna quit is success tax is starting to come your way, and you're like, "F this noise." So you have to understand that. And by the way, that level changes. Don't think that just because you get past those first couple nasty comments, you're now in the clear and you get success tax. I got it. I'm good. Oh, no. No, no. That's another limiting belief. And that limiting belief is I'm beyond that. You start setting yourself up like that, the next time something happens that knocks you off your game, you now have a belief that says, I'm past this, but I'm not. It hurts. So now you're a failure again. You see what I'm saying? So we want to stay grounded in our humanity and we want to understand that success tax will travel with us. It just gets bigger. Right. And you guys have seen this. Like, could you imagine? I love Jennifer Aniston. Hi, Jen. If you're watching, call me. Anyway, so I love Jennifer Aniston, right? Could you effing imagine? I mean, just for a second, could you, the Angelina Jolie, could you just, there's no one in the whole world that doesn't know that just happened to you. Could you, I mean, just for a sec. Well, maybe she wasn't putting out enough. Maybe she gained weight. Maybe could you? I mean, are you effing kidding me? Not only is your whole life in public, but they're blaming you, right? I mean, could what? Hey, what? Yeah. Okay. Success tax never goes away. And so what we have to do is stay grounded in our humanity and stay grounded and connected to our truth of why we started our business. Now, for some people, it's flat out financial freedom. You're like, F it. I don't care if I help a damn soul. I'll make it $1 billion. Good on you, sister. Go get them. Other people are like, no, I have to help people. I love people. I love everyone. And then you're going to sell that down, like, bye. I don't care about that anymore because someone was mean. Guys, 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 we got to stay grounded and remember why we're actually doing what we're doing. Okay. Because people are going to try to knock you off course. And anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. You're welcome. Okay. So the next thing I want you to understand is the negative beliefs, right? The limiting beliefs. We've talked about this. They're never going to go away. So let's say you're like, Sarah, I'm good with success tax for the moment, right? You don't trick yourself into believing you're done forever because that's a fallacy and you're checking yourself up for future failure, right? Don't do that. Okay. So you're like, okay, I got that. But right now, that's not bothering me. Let's say you're where I was. You're in that moment of like, are you effing kidding me? I've been at this for how long and I'm not a millionaire yet, right? You could be there. So I have a couple questions for you there. The limiting belief might be that you were sold the bill of goods by awesome shows like The Secret or by other people who were, I don't know, 21, 22 going, oh my God, guys, I totally just made $1 million in 20 minutes, right? So you bought into that, right? When you're actually creating a business that works, when you're creating a business that serves, when you're creating a business that actually creates revenue, it doesn't work like that, right? Or you're selling to other 22-year-olds who are putting it on credit cards. It's a whole other thing, right? So I want you to understand what's actually at work here. Do you have a plan? I know that sounds silly, but because of that weird, like, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. Because of that, people have forgotten there's an action that comes behind that. There's a whole action plan. The women in the Abundance Academy just got their goals all set up, right? And none of them walked out of the first workshop without their goals and an action plan. You can't. You cannot. And you guys might be going, oh no, I have a plan. I'm like, is it a plan to get to $1 million? You just said, I'm not at $1 million yet. Do you know why? That's hard work. And I get that. That is not sexy. Oh my God, you got it. That's not that. It's not that kind of work. It's the work you got to sit down. I just hit the mic. Sorry. I love you. That's like the kind of work you have to sit down and actually do when no one's watching. It's not always fun. I love goals because I'm crazy, hence the sprints, right? But you got to do the work. Do you know when you're supposed to hit $1 million based on current sales? Do you know that? And if you don't like that timeline, are you fixing it? Do you know what it's going to be if you work backwards? And then once you work backwards, do you know how much you have to sell every day in order to get there? Do you see this idea of like, well, I'm not a millionaire yet. I guess I failed. Is that even in reality? Like, what are you talking about? When was your goal to hit 1 million and how far off are you? Oh, I don't know. Well, how the heck? Okay, guys, guys, guys. See, I'm from Utah. Hi, everyone from Utah. Right. So I'm from Utah and we used to go hiking all the time, all the time. I don't do it now because there's nowhere to hike. Right. Okay. So anyway, so we used to go hiking all the time. You do not go hiking. This was before cell phones because I'm 55 years old, right? But like we would go out there. You don't go out there without a map. Could you imagine? What are we stupid? Like we're going to walk around and I can't do that. I don't know where's the car? Like you don't do that to yourself. We could die and we could die, right? Like no, you figure it out before you go in. If you want to make $1 million, whatever the hell it is for you, I'm just saying a million because that's what dropped into my head. But whatever your financial goal is, if you want to get there, what do you need to do to get there? And what are the tasks today you need to do in order to get there? All of a sudden, wanting to quit's going to go away real quick. You know why? Because you know what you're supposed to be doing. And what I find is when people are like, I want to quit, I'm just going to go work at Starbucks. I hate everybody. Nobody loves me. I don't know what I'm. That's happening because there's no plan. And that may sound basic, but so's limiting beliefs, right? You're not doing it if you want to quit. And I hate to be that blunt. The only reason you would want to quit if you're doing those things, right? And you're like, this is not okay for me, is because it's the wrong thing for you to be doing and you know it. That's different. But I'm talking to everybody today who loves what they do. They created a business because they wanted to. They have goals for that business. They created a plan, or maybe not, and that's why they're thinking they're failing. But you know this is the business for you, and you're going to have 30 days. You just are. You're going to have days where you're like, what the hell is this bucket of crap? I didn't ask for this. That's what it is to own a business. That's why I hate all that. I'm so beautiful. That's why I hate those posts and the gurus who are like, quit your job if you're serious, right? This is not armchair activity. This is not for the faint of heart. So if you're going to be in it to win it, you got to do stuff. You got to stay on top of your limiting beliefs. You have to understand the success tax is coming and you need to have a plan. And quite frankly, between me and you need a coach. If you don't have a coach, good luck. And I love you. I never, ever, please listen to me, ever, ever, ever don't have a coach, ever. And sometimes I have two. Seriously. You know why? This is dangerous neighborhood, man. Do not hang out in here. Yours is just as bad as mine. We say stuff in here that is just off the wall bananas. And then because we have selective sight, remember the red SUV, we have selective sight. We make it real. So you got to know what's going on up here. Coach, any coach who doesn't start with what you're thinking, run. Like Sarah shaped hole in the wall, run. Okay. You have to understand what is going on in your head because that is directly related to what's causing your results. Who knows why? Oh, come on. Who knows why? You guys are being shy today. Who knows why? All right. I'll tell you one more time. You ready? There's the invisible world. There's the visible world. Okay. Invisible thoughts and beliefs. Visible, your results. What is the bridge between the two? What takes things from your beliefs and your thoughts? The beliefs come first, right? So you have beliefs, you have thoughts. Those are invisible. What makes them visible? Action. So I know if you're thinking a certain way, it's because your beliefs are out of whack. But if your beliefs are out of whack, then your thoughts are out of whack, then your actions are out of whack and you have no results or you have results you do not want. Period. Got it? So you need to know what those beliefs are 24/7. You cannot be caught off guard by a negative belief or a limiting belief. You need to know what they are. And here's the deal. If you're not happy with these results, the question to ask yourself is, are you ready? Write this down. It'll change your life. You're welcome. What would I have to believe to have caused these results? And you're going to say, Sarah, but I don't have control over who buys my stuff. Sure you do. How many of you have been duped into buying crap? Thank you, Lily. Good job. Lily knew it was actions, right? How many? I mean, you have. It's because somebody worked their ass off to sell it to you. Now it was crap. You're not going to do that to somebody, but you can do that too. Not crap. You can learn how to sell, right? You can learn how to sell to the point that people buy your stuff. You absolutely have control over that. You may not have control over the economy. Do you know how many people are killing it in this economy right now? Because they say so. Because they figure out what needs to be done in order to succeed in this economy. I always use the example of Hershey's chocolate chips, right? Is it her? Nope, Nestle Toll House. Sorry. Nestle Toll House, right? They advertised all through the Great Depression. Still the number one when it comes to chocolate chips to this day. 100 years later. Why? Because they knew people needed comfort, and that's what they sold. You know what people need from you because only you have your specific experiences, right? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I had coffee. Experiences, expertise, and talents. Only you have that circle of 3 that can be delivered to the world to solve problems. You're the only one who has those. And if you are not doing what you need to do to create the plan, to deal with success tax, to deal with your limiting beliefs, you will fail. That's a promise. Once in a while, people can stumble into success, but not really. Usually they modeled somebody or they did something or they learned about things, right? It's very rare. Someone's like, oh, I'm going to wake up today. Oh, look, $1 million. That's not, no, right? So you've got to learn what you need to do in order to succeed. That is 100% within your control, but it starts with what you believe is possible. And so if you just heard in your head, bullshit. So sorry, I swore. BS, Sarah Walton. If you just heard that in your head, well, that's your belief. And you're going to have results that deliver that promise to you. It's the way it works. Ha. Adrian's like, me. All right, you guys. That's Coffee with Coach for October. Thank you again. I really want to say thank you to all of you who reached out to me after last month. I really love and appreciate this community. I so appreciate you guys. This has been a really exciting month. I have 2 cohorts of the Sales Mastermind running. We just started the Abundance Academy, and the Q4 Sprint started this morning. So it is like fireworks over here. And knowing that I have a community like you guys backing that up is just, oh, it's just amazing. So I love you guys. I hope I have always helped you. I hope I'm always here to help you. You guys always know that. Go find a video that you need. Go look through Sarah Uncuts. Go look at the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Find what you need. Okay? Because everybody needs a coach by their side. I love you guys to bits. Happy October. Let's make Q4 amazing. And I will see you back here at the beginning of November for Coffee with Coach then. All right. Love you guys. Bye.